100.7 WHUD, Westchester and the Hudson Valley's #1 music station. They needed a girl song for Kathy, Evelyn, and Margie out the door with their dancing shoes on. KT Tunstall, Suddenly I See. Have a great night. No need to travel far to hear music you'll love. Tonight in our Hudson Valley Artist Spotlight, we welcome Will King. So you are a Hudson Valley native.
I am. I was born in Manhattan, but I grew up most of my life through high school in Yorktown.
Has living here, do you think, affected your music at all?
I think so. I mean, it's obviously a very special quality to Hudson Valley. I think everybody that lives here knows that. There's elements of nature in my music, and it definitely comes as a result of having the ability to get away for hikes and be around nature.
Was there a moment that you remember of realizing that you wanted to be a songwriter and musician?
Well, I didn't start playing guitar until I was 19. I was very late to the game. I was playing catch-up ball for quite a number of years, but I remember one day I was trying to learn a Grateful Dead song, and I think I lost track of how many hours I spent just really concentrating on this one chord progression, and it really just took a hold of me at that point, and then I started to approach my own music.
It feels to me like your guitar is as much a storyteller as your voice. 1,000 Birds has no vocal at all.
It was actually written as my niece was doing a project for Origami Birds. She happened to be over one day, and I was just kind of messing around with the guitar, and I came up with what would eventually become the song.
You can feel the flight in that song. You've recorded and toured extensively with the group Melange, and this is your first solo CD.
It is, yes.
I love the photo at your website of you playing your guitar in the church. Where is that?
That was in, I hope I pronounced this correctly, but Muscogee, Michigan.
I wouldn't know.
I didn't know it until last summer either, but I had done some work in association with the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development, and they were holding a festival out in Muscogee, and I was invited out to play there.
The Rock On for Rights Festival?
That actually took place at FDR Park here, and that was put on by Leah Wagner, who was at the time either a junior or senior in one of the local high schools, but they were a part of that as well.
When we click on the Pathways to Freedom link at your website, we learn about a song that you recorded. It has to do with a project that your wife is working on. Is that connected?
It is, yes. That song is called Edmund Pettus Bridge, How Long Not Long.
Heartbreaking to listen to.
It was actually heartbreaking to relearn as a result of my wife's work. She's a writer, and she was engaged in research and a discovery process, which brought us, I kind of tagged along with her and the president of the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute down to the Deep South. It was actually just about a year ago, because it was on the 39th anniversary of Martin Luther King's assassination, that we started that day at the memorial in Atlanta, and then we took what is basically a triangle in the south of going down to Montgomery and Selma and Birmingham. It's kind of like a vortex of so much American history that I might have recalled as a youth just reading about it, but when you actually walk through it, it was quite powerful.
I'll bet. Is your wife working on a book?
She's involved in many different pursuits, but I think that it will be a part of a book one day, yes. And the weight of it really hit me when I got to Selma and began to meet some of the people that were actually there that day and started to do some more research about it. The song kind of took control of me. It wasn't the other way around.
The name of the album is Come On In From the Cold. The cover art, two hands reaching toward one another with a guitar between them. The interpretation of that image is subjective. What does it mean to you?
I think there is a coming together. The hands are of two different colors. I think that would represent diversity. But the guitar itself is dark, it's without strings, and it's hollow. I often find music to be a two-way street, and I think that music can be very hollow if there aren't people coming toward it.
Among the guests on the album is your wife, whom you dedicate it to. Who else performs with you on the CD?
John Cohen, who is a Putnam Valley resident. He was in the New Lost City Ramblers. He also has a long kind of connection to Bob Dylan, as he took a lot of the early black and white photographs of Bob Dylan, ones that are kind of iconic. Another friend was John Ventimiglia, who people might know best as Arthur Artie Bucco in The Sopranos. We co-wrote a song together called 28 Days. And
it's an incredible song. I'm judging myself from my intentions. The world is judging me from my actions.
It was really the truest collaboration on that album, because I wrote kind of the narrative, if you will, of the song, and John did the spoken word over it. He also sings in the choruses to blend our voices.
The song that we are going to listen to is the title track, Come On In From the Cold. What is your writing process like?
For me, it's usually from the guitar first, and then the lyrics and the storyline follows. But this time around, I was definitely focusing on the characters and trying to develop atmospheres in which they can live.
Our listeners want to hear more of your music, find out about your upcoming performances. How can they do that?
You can visit willkingmusic.com. I also have a YouTube channel, so there's a link on the homepage, and you can check out the videos as well.
Terrific. Let's listen to your song. This is Come On In From the Cold, Will King, on WHUD.
Come